Any other questions about specific products, brands, or makeup styles, things like that that you would like to talk about, feel free. I love this conversation, so just put it in the chat down below. So before we get started, I just want to check in with you guys in the chat really quick and kind of see how you guys are doing. Everyone's saying hi, hello. The most awaited live is back. Thank you guys so much. Oh, nice. Okay, I see a couple people from all over. All right. Hello for everyone from Nigeria. Wow. Hello, Nigeria. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy spring indeed. So if you guys didn't know, it is just past the cherry blossom season in Korea. So the cherry blossom season here is one of the peak tourist seasons, but it's also a really good time for people to come and try new makeup styles and kind of have that fresh look. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with some of these products and see what we can get into. So this first one here, I'm just gonna start from right to left. This is a retinol. This specifically is the B Concept or Boncept 2500 IU Wrinkle Shot Protector, Night Care Skin Firming. So retinol, we should probably start with what that is, what it does, and why everybody talks about it. So retinols are often known as the most prominent anti-aging ingredient, and these can be a little bit strong. So if you guys weren't sure about kind of what I know about skincare, I actually work at a pipukwa, which in Korean actually means skincare clinic or esthetician beauty shop. So I've been well versed in these kind of things, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. So B Concept in general is going to be a little bit more of a creamy type of texture, specifically because it's a nighttime and firming cream. Typically, retinols tend to be a little bit thicker, and what you want to do with a retinol is only wear it at nighttime. These actually don't play well with sunlight. So if you're into the anti-aging thing, or you're looking for something to kind of kickstart that sort of process for you, make sure that you only do it at night. And if you're starting with the retinol, I would do it maybe 2 to 3 times a week to start out. The fact that you can get something like this from DAISO is actually amazing. So DAISO is one of the biggest stores in Korea. It's just as hot and just as prominent as Olive Young and even Starbucks and things like that. It's on every corner and it has everything you need. Something that's really, really unique about DAISO, especially being in Korea, is it's a one-stop shop for everything. And I do mean everything. You can get like little kids' candies and toys and things like that. You can get cookware for your kitchen. You can get arts and crafts, and you can, of course, get some skincare too. So this is one of the things that we saw at Olive Young, and I think it retailed for around 10,000 won or so, 8 to 10,000 won. But from Olive Young, you can see the pricing is usually listed on this little barcode back here. This is about 3,000 won. This is a lot cheaper than you would typically get in Olive Young. So we're gonna go ahead and maybe give it a try. We'll see. I'm gonna first introduce some of these products and then we'll kind of bounce around. One of the main ingredients in this one is going to be, of course, retinol, but it actually has hyaluronic acid in it as well, which is a very hydrating ingredient. Hyaluronic acid is really important to have in your skincare routine because this is something that is going to just be a baseline hydration and help your skin to absorb other products. So this is our retinol. We'll come back to this one in just a little bit. Up next, this is a little bit of a shift. This is the Dinto Nostalgia Eye Palette. So I have to crack this one open in order to see what we're working with. As you guys can see, I am actually wearing a little bit of makeup today. I know in the live shows in the past, I don't typically go too hard with the makeup, but I have a special event tonight. I'm actually going to the very last Coldplay show tonight. So I'll be leaving right after this, but if you guys are wondering why I look a little bit more glam, that's why. So of course I want to get into this palette. Oh, there's tape on it. It would probably help if I took the tape off, right? Can I rip this? I'm gonna rip it. I don't have time for child-proof packaging. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's autumn there. Would you like to add this to your night routine, yay or nay? A lot of things to buy from DAISO. Your eyeshadow looks so nice. Thank you. Look, I put glitter on. So I feel like I look really pretty today. Okay, here we go. We finally got into it. So again, this is the Dinto eyeshadow palette in number 71. This is called Little Alcott. So these right here, this is immediately something that I would use for what's called a transition shade. So if you look at my eyeshadow, I don't know if you guys can see that. I have actually a couple different colors on right now. I have a base color that's similar to this one. This is what we would call like a bone color or something like banana, but something very light that acts as sort of a base and a really easy way to blend other shadows. It depends on how you apply makeup, of course, but with this sort of thing, this would always be the good color to start or to have in the crease here. In your inner corner, it's really important to highlight so that it opens your eyes a bit more. There's a couple other colors here. These are very light, very peachy tones. In Korea, this is something that you see a lot. This is very, very prominent in like Korean makeup styles and things like that. I actually quite like it because coming from the States, you can see that we obviously like a little bit heavier of eyeshadow, but there's an emphasis on a natural beauty in Korea, which is why that the eyeshadow colors and things like that tend to be a little bit more muted. But for springtime, this is perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is actually swatch this because these are powder. If you're not an avid makeup user, you obviously don't know much about this, but right away you can see it looks very soft. It looks very matte. There's not a lot of shimmer or anything on it. So these would be just very neutral shades. So I'm just gonna use the back of my hand here. We're just gonna go into this middle one. All right away the formula picks up really, really nice. There's not a whole lot of fallout, which is really good. And if we just swatch it right here, ooh, that picked up really nice. So you guys can see that. It actually is a little bit more pigmented on my hand, I think, than it is in here. So just for color reference, it does look a little bit darker on your skin tone. But this is a really nice formula. I'll say right away that this is very, very creamy for a powder. So the shadows actually feel quite nice. As far as the price point for this one, this is only retailing for about 5,000 won, which in USD would translate to about 350, 375, something like that, which is a steal for eyeshadows. What I'm wearing right now was, I think, like $45. So this is really, really good. One of the big things about DAISO is how affordable it is. And like, even if you're looking for something very, very specific, you can be sure to go to DAISO and you'll find something that's very similar, but for a much lower price than you would typically see in retail stores, especially makeup. So definitely give that one a check. All right. I'm going to take a break and check in with you guys here. Korean beauty products have always been a top choice and most popular choice. I would like to buy beauty products when I travel to Korea soon. Yeah, Ihan Lee, thank you so much for your nice comment. You definitely should. I think especially when it comes to Korean makeup, obviously I've been here for quite some time. There's a couple things that I've noticed. With Korean foundations, for example, there's almost always an element of sunscreen or sun care, which is really important because if you're gonna be out and about in the sun and you're wearing makeup, you can't put sunscreen on top of it. So I really like that Korea specifically puts a big emphasis on sun care even in your beauty products. For example, I'm wearing a primer right now that is called a tone-up cream. It's color correcting and there's SPF. And I've never found anything similar like this in Western makeup that I've looked for before. But even in places like DAISO, you can find things like that throughout the makeup stuff. So definitely give that a try when you come check it out. Let's see, I love the palette, it looks so beautiful. It is definitely really pretty. The price is affordable and good, of course, absolutely. OMG, that cushion foundation looks way pricier than $2. We'll see. I've never spent, let's see, I'm trying to think. I've never spent really more than like 30 USD on any particular makeup product since living in Korea. But if you go to a place like DAISO, you probably won't spend above 10 USD, so you'll have to give that a go. So let's keep moving. We've got a couple other things to look at here. So this next one here, oh, this is perfume. That's awesome. Okay, so I've never personally bought perfume from DAISO before, so I'm really excited to give this a try. Let's just go ahead and start with the pricing. So this one retails for about also 5,000 won. This is by the brand Daily Kama. This isn't one that I've heard of before, but from what I understand about Korean perfumes and colognes and things like that, they tend to be a lot lighter, a lot more floral, or more like an aqua base, sort of a fresh scent. So we're gonna open this up and give this one a try. I can't tell what it says the overlying tone is, but this one is called Pelbet Wood. So something wood, I think is what that says. So let's go ahead and open up. Oh, there we go, velvet wood. It's on the top in English. So if you guys need help in the Korean sector, you got that here. Let's see. Question for the host, which pick would you say is the most beginner friendly? I will tell you that when I finish all of the products. Let's get into it. Okay, this is really interesting. This is really tiny packaging here. It almost looks like a little bullet. This is something that I could probably fit in my pocket. It's called a solid perfume. So a solid perfume is something that I would assume is like a balm. You can roll it onto your wrist or on your neck, kind of the thin points. Let's open this up and see. Okay, there's a little safety cap here. Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting. So this smells like a very clean man. I don't know how else to put it, but that's exactly what it smells like. It has the consistency of almost like a chapstick. I don't know how well you guys can pick up on that, but it does look a little bit like sort of a chapstick vibe. Oh, it smells so good. It's like a mix of like aqua and pine. So it's actually a really, really fresh scent. This is something that I think you could wear out daily without it being a little bit too heavy. And like I said, guys, for the price point, this is actually really, really good. Perfumes is one of those things where it tends to get pricey really, really quickly. Perfume is something that I know a lot of people collect and they're really into and finding unique scents. So the idea that you can get one from DAISO is pretty cool. So I want to do a little test on this one. I'm going to put a little bit on my wrist. I want to see how long it lasts. Sometimes with perfumes and colognes and things like that, they wear off really quickly. So I swiped it just once on my wrist. I can smell it. It smells really good. We'll see how it holds up by the end of the episode. Like I said, this particular brand is called Daily Comma, and this is Velvet Wood. We're going to see what is next. All right. So before I get into this one, I see you guys blowing up the comment section. Let's see what it says. Yes, Nathan, it smells like a clean man. I don't know how else to explain it. The packaging this year looks so elevated compared to 2024's range. Okay, very unique. So it does seem like Olive Young is keeping up with beauty trends and trying to step up their game a little bit. The perfume is roll-on. It's honestly, it's not like a roll-on. There's no ball. It's like a little balm. It's literally like a big chapstick, but it's specifically for like perfume. I'm watching Personal Beauty episode 4, show from Koreanet, which is very useful and important for my life. I'm watching this important platform, which is very useful and important for the future. Oh, thank you, Jacinta or Jacinta. Thank you for that lovely comment. I will try to be as useful as I can, which is why I want you guys to take full advantage of the comment section and definitely let me know if you guys have any specific questions about products or anything like that. Host, could you rank today's top 3 must-haves? I will, I promise. I'll rank the top 3 must-haves out of these, and then I'll give you my personal favorites after. Does the scent of the balm last long? Well, I did a swatch here, so we're gonna see if it holds up for at least the next 20 minutes, which I hope it does. I imagine it would, especially if it's like a waxy sort of base. I think the fact that it's a balm would actually make it a little bit more sweat-proof, for example, so we'll see. Greetings from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right, let's keep it moving here. So we're gonna move on to this next one. This one is a huge topic right now. If you guys are on beauty TikTok or on that side of the algorithm on any of your social medias, you have definitely seen this. This is the Sika Reedle shot. So this one, I believe, is by VT. VT is the brand. When we went to Olive Young, this one retailed for about 20,000 won. This one was definitely more expensive. A lot of times the more hyped or more popular skincare will tend to be a little bit more pricey. But this one at Olive Young was only 3,000 won. 3,000. That's like saying $3 essentially, which in USD this would be literally like $2, which is insane. So this particular product is sort of like a chemical microneedling treatment. For those of you guys that aren't really familiar with skincare or skincare treatments and things like that, microneedling is something that resurfaces your skin. Specifically, this is really beneficial for large pores, pigmentation, acne-prone skin, really dry skin, post-acne scarring, or a lot of sun damage. So there's a lot of benefits to microneedling. I have a little bit of a mixed opinion on this because at my clinic, obviously, we do microneedling, but the real kind with needles. This is a chemical version. So basically, the way that this works, when you clean your skin, you're going to put this on first. The reason that you do that is because your pores are sort of shaped like this. When you put that microneedling treatment in the pores, there's little microscopic barbs, and it's going to cause a little bit of damage in the pores. So when you put it on, it's going to feel very tingly, very spiky. Don't be alarmed, you're not having a reaction. That is what it's supposed to do. But in doing this, now that you've created all those little open sort of spaces in your pores, when you put on the rest of your skincare, it's supposed to absorb better and more effectively. That's why this is so popular, because it's so good for so many things. So I'm not going to be trying this one right now. I obviously have a full face of makeup on, so I don't think that this would be the best. But one thing that jumps out at me right away is that this is the Sika one. The Sika Reedle shot in particular is specifically for sensitive skin types. This is something that they came out with a little bit later, so this is the newer version. It's the newer version, it's cheaper, this is definitely a hot product. If you guys are more curious about this one, go check it out on your socials or just Google it, see what it's all about. But I'm definitely curious to try this one later when I take my makeup off after the concert, so we'll see. All right, moving on, this is another really good brand. This is one that I'm actually very familiar with. This is Medipeel, or Medipeel. This particular product is called the Extra Super 9 Plus. This one is basically a wrapping mask. So this is another one that I won't be able to do right this second, but a wrapping mask is gonna be like a film. I don't know how to explain these textures to you guys through the camera without showing you, but Basically, it's like a cling film. And that sounds a bit odd, but basically the purpose of this would be the same thing as cling filling like your food and things. It's to protect it and to lock in moisture. So this is another product that you could use at daytime, I suppose, but this is more for nighttime. When you lock in all of those products and all that moisture that you just did on your clean skin, this is gonna be a really good option for that. Similarly, there's another product, I believe it's by Medipeel. It's the Night Collagen Wrapping Mask. Very similar idea around this. So this is something that's really gonna aid in promoting collagen and just hydration retention. As the name would suggest, this is the glow lifting one. So when you put these masks on, it's gonna leave your skin very, very glowy. And this isn't like a typical mask that you would wash off. This is something that you actually peel off in the morning. So very satisfying if you guys are into that, but it doesn't act like a exfoliator or some sort of like removal. This is basically just to tighten and lift sagging skin, provide moisture and firmness for a glowing complexion. This one actually has an English description, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read it to you guys really quick, just so we can see a little bit more about what it does. After cleansing, take an appropriate amount at the final step of the skincare routine and apply to the entire face. So like I said, this would go last. You want to avoid the eyes and the mouth. Approximately 20 to 30 minutes later, let it dry thoroughly until a transparent film forms. Then slowly start peeling it off. So this one could be really, really fun. I think if you guys have never tried anything like this is a really great option and something cool and unique that you guys can get from Korea. All right, I'm gonna move on to one more over here and then I'll check back in with you guys in the comments. So let's see. Oh, okay, this is Medica 21. This is one of my favorite things ever. So this is, I believe this is sort of a derivative of Medicasur, which is actually like a healing cream. This is something that you typically get from the pharmacy, especially if you have like a cut or some sort of abrasion or injury, like cracked lips even, this is really helpful for. But this one specifically is a spot soothing gel and it contains Centella asiatica, a smoothing spot gel with a combination of TECA or Tika and Centella asiatica extract for intensive soothing effect on irritated skin. So this would be a really great option for acne-prone viewers. This is really helpful, especially if you have like those sort of weepy type of pimples. And what I mean by that is if you pop them and then they continue to sort of weep, essentially. This is really good for healing tissue in general. This is why it's really, really good for soothing and calming. This is something that I have lived, loved, tried, absolutely can't live without. And I'll definitely, if I do ever leave Korea, I don't think I will, but if I do, this is definitely something that I'm gonna pack with my bag and take with me. So price point wise, actually I think I forgot to say the price point for this one as well. So this is 3,000 won, by the way, that cool night wrap peeling mask. This one as well, let's see if I can find the price here. Oh, there it is on top, 3,000 won also. So far, nothing has exceeded 5,000 won. That was the most expensive thing that we've seen so far. And that, my dears, is the beauty of DAISO. It's amazing. So let me check back in with the comment section. If you guys have any questions and things like that, now would be a great time to ask. We're here always supporting our world friends. Greeting from Brazil. Hello, hello Brazil. Is it hola in Brazil? I don't think so. It's, I feel like I know this, but it's escaping me. Swatching party in the chat, what shade are you most excited for? I'm honestly most excited about the dark shades because I prefer a little bit more of like a heavy look on the eyes, but I think this bottom shade here is one that I would use quite a lot. Loving the dewy finish on that highlighter, perfect for spring. I'm actually not wearing any highlighter today, but thank you, I appreciate that. Price plus performance equals chef's kiss, that's very true. Thanks again for another episode. I always love Shannon's recommendations and I take note of her thoughts every time I go back to Korea. Thank you, that's very sweet. Has anyone tried 2025 mascara yet? Does it smudge? This is a great question. I'm actually so glad you asked. So Korean mascaras actually largely, like 90% of them are waterproof. So if you buy a Korean mascara, just make sure you read the label. This was actually something that I wasn't aware of at first. So I was pulling out my eyelashes trying to get it off. If you guys don't mind, waterproof mascaras are great for the shape of your eyelashes. They're really great at sort of holding everything in place, and I think that that's why they're popular here. Korean women tend to have more stiff eyelashes, so they need that little extra to kind of give them that nice curl. If you guys are into that, definitely get one, but get an oil-based makeup remover in order to not rip out your eyelashes. Let's see. Host skin is glowing. Is that just ring light or real results? No, guys, this is real. I promise. I am wearing makeup, but the glow is real. I strictly use Korean skincare, and I probably always will now because I've learned so much about my skin since being in Korea. When I first came here, I actually had quite severe acne. Even if you guys follow me on Instagram, it's probably not something you'll see. I edit it all out. But if you guys are interested in those photos, I'm sure I could pop it up at some point. But when I first came to Korea, there's this sort of idea when Westerners come to Korea that the change in the water, like the type of water, the air quality, the food, the stress, all of that can lead to breakouts. And me having never dealt with acne before, once I started getting into skincare, I started realizing that my skin enjoyed it so much more. One thing that I think is important is to understand how Korean skincare is different and why it's so effective. In Korean skincare, they focus a lot more on hydrating the skin rather than removing oil. So what I mean by this is if you go to any sort of pharmacy or Ulta or things like that in the States, you're gonna find a lot of scrubs, a lot of astringent toners, meaning like alcohol-based or witch hazel-based. But if you come to Korea, everything is hydrating, unless it specifically says otherwise. So if you're like me and you have really dry, sensitive skin, that's a really good thing. So if you guys are looking for more skincare or looking for different advice or have questions on that topic, definitely hit me up. I'm more than happy to share that with you. But yes, it's real. The glow is real. Let's see. I'm always very excited to watch personal beauty programs from Koreanet. I will definitely use personal beauty products now. All right. Wow, you guys are blowing up the comment section. Thanks so much for coming in. I wonder if the products are different in other worldwide DAISOs. I can speak a little bit on this one. I've been to the Japanese DAISO before. It was a little bit different. It's a little bit more chaotic, I would say there. It's very well organized. It's a little bit more chill, sort of like TJ Maxx vibe in Korea. But as far as like your options, there is still a huge variety and it's still less expensive than it typically would be. Shannon's vibe, of course, hits different. Thank you. I love you too. Let's see. Shannon showed us very easy ways to use personal beauty products in today's video. Thank you so much for the wonderful event. No problem, guys. So before we wrap things up, I have one more product that I want to show you and demonstrate for you. Then I'll give you my top 3 and then we will wrap things up, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to this last one. So this one is actually a makeup product as well. This brand is called Tag. It's the Touch a Gleam. Yeah, Touch a Gleam Slim Brow Pencil. A slim eyebrow product that delicately fills in the eyebrows one by one. So I really like this one because I personally prefer that more like natural hair sort of look. I know some people like the heavy block brows. That's just not something that I feel like suits me. So this is definitely something that I would go pick out when I go into Olive Young or go into DAISO. And this one, guys, only retails for 3,000 won as well. So also very, very cheap in comparison. And maybe I can keep these after, we'll see. All right, so this is what it looks like. Oh, I already like it because it has the automatic spoolie on the end. So the spoolie, for my people who are not makeup people, is for actually shaping the eyebrows. It's really important to brush your hairs up before you're applying product so you can actually properly align your shape so you don't end up with like sisters for eyebrows. This applicator is actually one of my favorite styles as well, so I think this is a really good choice. I'm just gonna create like a little fake eyebrow on my hand here. Oh, whoa. Oh, stop, that's so good. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I just did a bunch of little hair-like strokes on my hand, and they're very, very thin, very fine. So I actually love this. I probably should have done it the other way, but I actually love this. This is super, super fine, thin lines, which is exactly what somebody like me with kind of sparse brows would need. Love this product. This is fantastic. This is probably one of my favorites. Okay, so let's get down to the top 3 for these. So definitely the eyebrow pencil because I have no eyebrows without makeup. So definitely the eyebrow pencil. Oh, this smells good. Maybe that one. Oh, this is hard. Okay, let's see. So I can't use retinol because I'm a little bit too sensitive. I use bakuchiol instead. So I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna say definitely the Medica because this is great for spots and for pigmentation. And I gotta say, I think I'm gonna go with the peel on this one. These would be my top 3 for today because I've always wanted to try one like this. I love the idea of retaining hydration. This is great for all kinds of stuff, not even just for acne. And then this is essential for me because I don't have eyebrows. So that would be my top 3 today. Let me know what you guys think about today's episode. Thought about today's episode. If you guys have any questions, comments, outrages, leave it in the comment section down below. I'm gonna answer maybe one more question and then we're going to see you guys next week. Let's see. Which product was your favorite? Drop it in the comment section, definitely. Eyelashes and eyebrows are a must. Yes, eyebrows are the most important part of your face. I definitely think so. Great episode. I miss Shannon's lives. Please come back. Well, you guys will get to see me at least for the next couple lives. If you guys want to tune in next week, we're going to be continuing the Oldamu series. So you guys can check out which one is next. This week's episode was based around DAISO, where you can get a lot of great products for a really great price. My name is Shannon, and I will see you guys next week at 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in, and I love you guys. Bye.